All right. So it's done. And I'm not just saying done, but it's done. I'm gonna put you guys on the tripod and you can see me assemble this for how awkward it's going to be. And I'll cover everything that I've done throughout the past week to get to this point, but we're ready for Seth. Well, here she is, Executive Suite. And I didn't put on a gun in the nose, but yeah, there should be another gun in the nose that sticks out to the side. So obviously it's been painted. Bottom is gray, top is green, and I apologize for the wind in advance. So where do we go? Well, obviously the nacelles had to be painted. That was pretty straightforward. But in addition to that, had to go ahead and paint the inlets black. That took some detailing. Um, I painted the spinners an enamel black. It's like a matte black. And I did the propellers as well. One propeller was a little shinier than the other. And I went ahead and painted the tips so that they match. So yeah, that's pretty much the nacelles and where they are. There's a whole bunch of nomenclature stickers on the sides and stuff underneath. That's another story. lots of little stickers here and there. Obviously, the stars and bar looking good, but also got the executive suite. Now, fun story about this. So Adam Drain is a good friend of mine, and when I got this model, he reached out and said, "Hey, do you want a livery that no one else is going to have?" And I'm like, "Sure." And so he showed me this airplane, and I couldn't believe the nose art because it was done by hand by a real artist, which is awesome. So what's awesome is that I got permission from that artist to use this exact art. I literally took a nice picture that Adam sent me, traced it, sent it to Calligraphics, and she did it for me. I made sure to let her know that I got permission from the artist. And so I'm ecstatic to have that on the side of this model. So moving right along, obviously I got the nose put together. That was something in and of itself. I had to create a frame, a wood frame for this. So this is my hatch. It slides on and off. It's got wooden dowels that slide it on and off. So I have access to the battery hatch as well as the air inlet to charge it, and then my air pressure gauge that lets me know how much air is in it so that I can pressurize it when done. The wings, yeah, so the wings were painted too, obviously. But then in addition to that, I had to run all the electronics through. I redid a bunch of the hardware, had to set up the flaps. All the mechanical stuff for the flaps was done. And then obviously we've got the tail planes. So the paint was done, and I went ahead and installed everything, set up all the linkages correctly, and then got the tail gunner bubble installed as well. That had to be painted in addition to the side gunner positions. Those had to be liquid masked, primed, and painted. And I did that as well with the tail plate, which I kept. That's fiberglass or really hard plastic. I'm not sure what. So reapplied that. But then I realized, oh shoot, I need to paint the tips of the verticals. So I took it off and repainted or painted the tips of those. But yeah, it's been a fury of work, an absolute fury of work. A lot of masking, demasking, putting things together, checking over paint, doing little touch-ups, trying not to make a mess of things. But yeah, this is honestly the very first time that I have had this airplane put together since I finished it this morning. The last little touch-up thing I did this morning was thanks again to my buddy Ben Harbor. I had a number of things going on in my personal life that I just didn't have time to do some modeling in CAD. The little radar thing, it's a location or direction finding radar thing on the bottom. I didn't have time to model that, but he modeled it for me, threw it on my 3D printer, woke up this morning, washed it up, let it cure. It installs with like an electrical bullet connector, so it sits up there really, really snug. A lot of work went in this week, a lot of work. But I'm glad it's done. It's ready to go to SEFF. It's ready to fly again. I'm ecstatic about it. I do have an issue with one of the ailerons I noticed when I was assembling it, so I'll take it apart and do a little bit of diagnosis. I may just have a loose connection somewhere. Pretty easy to diagnose that, but I've got certainly enough supplies and enough time to take care of that. No big deal. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate you stopping by the channel. Make sure that you're heading over to dubro.com using code Josh10 for 10% off your Dubro hardware at checkout. And just keep plugging away, hammering out your flying works of art.